by doing this kind of shit here. You know, you're like, alright, and you start prying on it and stuff, and next thing you know, the paint's all fucked up. This is a little suction cup. So, anyways, if you notice on these Ibanez, this is a 91. This is a professional guitar. They've got this clamp on here to hold your springs down, and you won't see that on most tremolo blocks. You'll just see the spring right, you know, in the holes there. I'm just going to back it out one notch of a Phillips, which would be a quarter turn, and then I'm going to go back. And we're going to take a look at our tremolo and see, and it'll start gradually moving up. You know, and you want to do this a little bit. And what I did before I turned on the camera was I locked down my clamp up here on my nut so I could get some stability when you're doing this. So we can look at it now. We can see that it's coming up, but it's not where we want it. So I'm going to go ahead and make another quarter of a turn, and I think I might even go a half. There's my quarter. Some people talk about one side should be, this side here with the heavier strings should have more of a force on it because your strings are heavier on your guitar up there. And if you believe that, fine. I'm going to go ahead and unlock these and get it back in tune, because obviously we've adjusted the tuning on these things with the springs back there, so it's not going to be close. So see, my E is at a D sharp right now. I'm going to get it back up to E, and I'll do the rest, and then we'll look at the angle of the tremolo again. Okay, I'm looking at the trim here. Let's go ahead and get a look at it. And it looks like it's starting to get there. It's getting there. I think we want to be about, we want to be about right there. What I wanted to show you here is we got the trim just about almost there. I think I might just a little bit more, but the problem now, what we have here, is my action's too high. Since we've got our strings, you can see how high that is. Now that might be one of two things. That might be that the neck is, you know, bowed, or it could mean that I'm just going to have to lower my studs here. I'm going to go ahead and tend to that right now and get that action lowered down, and then we'll come back and have it dialed in, and then plug it in and listen to these pickups. I'll have to come up with something to play. So one other thing I forgot to mention before I start lowering the action on this, beware, Ibanez, when they made these tremolos, they did even one step better than Floyd Rose, and they went and they drilled a hole inside of the stud, and then they tapped it, and then they put a set hex screw inside of there. So what's happening is you can see my little Allen wrench there. It's locked in. There's a little screw in that hole right there. Okay, and if you were to start to try to lower this right now, what's going to happen is you would put your Allen wrench in here like so, and then you'd start turning it to the right to lower the tremolo, and what's going to happen is you're going to bust all of these, you'll just break this whole thing up right here. It'll disintegrate, and trust me, people have learned the hard way. Okay, here's my action now. Try to get level. I like low action, so I don't know if you can tell, but it's pretty low. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stick back in my little, I forget what the size of this little millimeter set screw in there is, Okay, right now it's starting to dig into the wood. See, that's what's happening, is it's stabilizing that stud into the wood. It just digs into the wood, so that's what happens if you try to tighten it. It's not going to go anywhere and bust the tops of those off. And here is what I'm talking about. There's the stud buster right there. That is a lock. That's actually the third lock on this tremolo. And what I said, it screws down in the wood. Right now it's not sticking out, so it wouldn't do any harm. But once you get your studs, your action set the way you want it, that's when you start digging into the wood with this thing. And then if you try to lower your action, not knowing that this is in the wood down there, what happens is the path of least resistance takes over, which is the Allen wrench winning over this this hex-shaped hole here. Therefore, you'll need to buy another one. Okay, I thought I'd just show the back of the guitar here real quick. Show you how mint condition it is. This is the back plate. This is the only oxidation on the back plate. So this one's been in probably a drier climate, I believe. You can still read it says made in Japan. This is a basswood body, by the way. It's kind of late for a 1991 review, but it's a beautiful guitar. 1991. This is a basswood or basswood, however the hell you say it. RG550 DX in Lazer blue, and what it has is a quarter sawn maple neck. As you can see, the grain going up along the guitar. That's for better tuning stability, strength as well, and I believe they've proven that. Going up here, we can see the little sticker says RG550 and the made in Japan and the serial number, and those are made in Japan tuners on these guitars. So and it's got a 2 here, so this could be late 91. They did make them in 92, so I have no reason to believe it's not a 92. And the front with the frets polished up. Hope that glare, that window's not hindering that. Nice maple fretboard, no fret wear at all. Nothing. We got to get the headstock in here to show you condition of this thing. It's awesome. There isn't a scratch on the paint. The only problem we have with it is the crack right here. And that's not a problem. I can buy a blue pickguard mirror type from Pickguard Paradise, but I think I'm leaving this original.